one other thing I want to point out, guys. See, it's these little things that matter. And these, I'm telling you, if I could just go through one day and just every little thing pick out and go deep in and you know, to let you understand that there's a whole world around us that we can't even see because of the blindness, the blinders that have been put on us, man. I mean, we are just... But this is what I wanted to say. So, okay, so yesterday, I was just thinking after I made that last video on my childhood breakthrough, it just popped in my head, right? It was like, wow, Richard, you really made choices yesterday that you have never made. And I'm going to go into this real quick. This is going to be a quick one, but just another one to show you guys every little thing we do matters, and how at the beginning of the journey, look, this isn't, if you want to call my journey, I've been on my journey my whole life. I've been, you know, reading every book I could get my hands on how the money system or how the world operates, advertising, you know, the tricks of the trade, sales, all of that bullshit. My whole life. I was huge into history, all of this shit. But it was all just out of egos, all just out of getting knowledge up here and not applying it. But again, it never made sense to me, all the knowledge, because it was like, man, it just doesn't add up. There's connections, but it doesn't seem like anybody's connecting anything. So this is what I'm trying to say. Every little thing you do matters. So what I've been doing for the past, God, forever, you know, 18 years, 19 years I've been doing this. These tools here, right? These are my slickers. This is what I use for caulk. I have varying sizes for these, okay? But what I'll do, because see, when you're on a roof, you don't have, you know, I'm hanging, you know, look, I'm sitting on a fucking slope up in the air, you know, we're trying to hold on to tools and everything else. So, you know, you don't have a lot of places to put things because everything just goes right down the fucking roof. So what I've always done was I will take, this may seem nasty to you guys, but I will take any fucking tool, anything I got in my hands, and just hold it in my mouth. And, you know, for the past year, it never bothered me. I mean, it was like, oh, wow, okay, I got another hand, basically. I use it as another hand, right? And I put it in my mouth. I do it 100 times a day while I'm up on a roof. Don't even think twice about it. Well, for the past year, I've been thinking about it. And I've been blowing it off like, Richard, it doesn't matter. You got more important things to focus on than these little things. Until yesterday. In the morning, I start putting my thing in my mouth while I'm reaching for other tools, grabbing another thing, grabbing the caulk gun, squeezing the caulk out, putting the caulk gun down, and then I'll grab it out of my mouth, sleep, right? Just another day. Well, the first couple times I did it that yesterday morning, I was like, I didn't feel right. I was like, wow, Richard, why are you still doing that? I was like, why the fuck are you still putting this shit in your mouth with how poisonous? And my tongue was black. Oh my God, guys, so many things I just can't wait to fucking line up and just put together. But so I quit doing it yesterday, and man, it was like constant, because you don't realize how often you do something until you quit doing it, and then you realize, oh wow, I was doing that, not even thinking, 24/7. So, you know, but I broke it yesterday. I mean, I almost put it in my mouth 50 different times at least, you know, for the rest of the day, but I didn't. And I'll tell you why this is so big, because every fucking product I work with here, all of these products, everything that goes on this roof is extremely toxic. They're neurotoxins. They're just straight up toxins to the fucking body. And I get it. I mean, by the time I get off this roof and applying everything each day, I'm black. I'm covered in soot. My ears, my nose, everything's got black coming out of it. I have, you know, got to shower every day when I'm up here. I don't go to bed with this shit on me. So I shower every day when I'm out of here. But I mean, I gotta wash off with dish soap my arms all the way up to my shoulders in the sink before I even jump into the shower, because I'm so black. So what I'm trying to say is, you know, I am inundated in all those materials down there. Every single one of them says California, you know, restrictions, California warnings of birth defects, California warnings of blah, 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 blah. And if you ever worked in construction, you know what I'm talking about, how we men, you know, there's women in construction too, but mostly men, how we men laugh about that, and we're like, fuck that, these pussies and those fucking faggots in fucking California can't even fucking get a little fucking caulk on them, huh? Okay, fucking faggots, you know. And so that's what we go with in order to be able to do our jobs, you know, because you got to put this shit out of your mind. You can't have that thought in the back of your head that you're working with extremely poisonous, toxic chemicals every day, and they're seeping through. I mean, because they get, even if you're wearing gloves, they're going to get on in your skin, and that shit doesn't come off. I mean, it's hard, extremely hard. You see, I take gas baths to get this shit off. So, you know, extremely toxic, heavy metals, poisons, everything else. And so just another thing to show you guys, this is really important. This is really what matters, you know. And we justify it. Like, I can sit here and say, oh, well, I help people. My job helps people. It keeps their homes dry, and it keeps water and mold out of their house, and keeps them stuck working a job for fucking money to be able to play in the system. We fool ourselves so hard by saying and justifying that our job is important, that there's a purpose and a reason behind it, and that it's helping people. No, it's not. Every job that pays any money in this world is all about keeping people locked in on the circle of this fucking shit train that we're on. The only true difference you can make is not to play this game. The only true difference you can make is to break away. The only true difference you can make is to quit participating and recognize radical honesty and radical courage, and refuse to accept the bullshit anymore, and quit telling lies, and quit obfuscating, and quit having underhanded, you know, reasonings why you do things, and quit trying to, you know, put so much value on all this bullshit, and quit fucking people over so that way you can have money so you're fucking comfortable and can wipe your ass with soft toilet paper, and fucking start doing what's important. Because again, guys, I've known for a year that this shit has really been in my head, that I should not be putting these things in my mouth, and that this shit's bad for me, and blah blah blah. And I would still, you know, up until yesterday, that conviction finally set in. It's a journey. This is my journey. Nobody's going to have the same exact journey as me. There might be another roofer that is doing the same exact thing as me, except for he broke that habit of putting poison in his mouth fucking 6 months ago. And he's looking at me like, oh, you stupid dummy. But he's probably still not even done his child work. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding? What are you sitting on that for? You know, so we each have our own journeys, and we each have our own steps and processes in that journey, but it's all the same. You have to do your child work. You have to pull away and detach. You have to focus on your health. You have to focus on what's right. You have to put the importance back on every single little thing you say, think, and do, and you have to pull away from this system. You have to quit vocalizing and putting that witchcraft, that spell on yourself every time that somebody says, well, you need to detach and not be obsessed with your material possessions and and all these things, your house, your car, and everything else. That isn't what matters. And you need to understand, you need to drop your worship of these things and start worshiping the one true God yourself. The only thing that matters. Nothing outside of you matters. If you don't have your own shit straight, and you're still poisoning yourself, and you're still doing these things, but you think you're going to help other people, how is somebody who is poisoned, and somebody who has lived their whole life only knowing what being poisoned is, going to have any kind of inkling of what it means to help anybody? Okay? So think about these things, guys. There's nobody, your friends, your family, nobody is there to help you. If they haven't gone all the way down this path and detached from all this worldly possessions and walk the Jesus path of picking up their cross and bearing their own sins and bearing the weight of their fucking wrongdoings and correcting their shit and dedicating themselves to health and truth, then you're a fool for following. You shouldn't be following anybody. You should be walking side by side. You should be taking other people's experiences into account. You should be using my experience as a way for you to hone your ability to tell when people are telling the truth, or when egos are speaking out, or when the soul is speaking. You know what I mean? You all these things you should be using as a tool to sharpen and hone your own self, you know, and your ability to fix your shit, not following me exactly and being like, well, I want to see your toxicology report that proves that you're heavy on aluminum and parabentamine and you know what I mean? Those people, you got to understand, people like that don't even talk, don't even argue, don't even look, give those people nothing, because all those fuckers are parasites that are just, their job, see what's happening is they're parasites, they are, you know, dead inside. They are being completely 100% operated and controlled by the system, by the Matrix, and they are just being called up to do the Matrix's will. You are trying to heal, and they are there to stop you, to prevent you from doing that, to sidetrack you, to get you go down the 5 million other paths other than the right path, to get you distracted and wrapped up in drama bullshit, to get you distracted and wrapped up with anything else but what truly matters. And it's that simple. These things are so simple, guys. And the only reason it's difficult, and this is very important to understand, the only reason it's difficult is because of the power of the programming. And we have to understand and come to terms with how powerful programming works and how it works. And then, you know, and focus on these things and pay attention to these things and make sure we're not getting, you know, we're not only not fooling ourselves, but everybody else too. I don't put these videos out. Again, I'm not a teacher, I'm not an instructor, I'm not better than anybody else, but what I am is a doer. I have no reason to live other than to find the truth and seek my health and my wholeness, and that's it. I have no underlying motive. I don't want any fucking possessions. I don't want money. I don't want fucking people to feel sorry for me. I don't want your goddamn prayers. I don't want any of that shit. You can take that shit and shove it so far up your ass and go fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck. I'm here to tell my story so that way you guys can fucking use your own faculties of your mind to start breaking free and realize what it means to actually live free.